Greetings from a beautiful Kansas City. This is Renee Benson at AV Renee KC. You are listening to and watching the AV Life.
Hey, this is Nancy Blanchard from sunny San Jose. You can reach me at Nancy Blanchard, both on LinkedIn and Twitter. And we're so happy to see Joe Way here this evening. Yay! You are listening to and watching the AV Life.
Hello, everyone from Southern California. Finally getting some rain. This is Murphy Daly at Written by Murphy, AV veteran, project manager, leadership in the world of AV and events. You are joining us. You can watch, you can listen to this, the AV Life.
Are you waiting
This is
for
a
something?
dramatic pause. It's a
Oh,
dramatic
okay.
pause. So, hi, my name is Judge Reinhold Brad Hamilton. You have to watch the video to know why. And you are watching and listening to the AV Life.
I can't even, Joe. Identity theft is not a joke, Joe. Many families suffer. And for those who are the
Wow.
Office fans, know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm your host, Tim Van Wert. I'm not pretending to be anybody. I'm here from Rutgers, from HETMA, from higheredev.com, and you are watching and listening to the AV Life. Wow, that was probably one of the more off-kilter startups that we've had. But
I mean, you made me crew 4 times in a row.
yeah,
I need to figure out how to get booted. I
want to
have
get
one goal this
Okay.
entire
Whoa.
episode, and that's be booted back
You
together.
heard him. You heard
It's
him. It's
gonna-
Make a Wish. Make a
Yeah.
wish.
I already know what the title of this episode is. It's going to be the one where Joe gets booted. And
That's it.
I'm going with the Friends
I
theme
mean, I
on
got
this
my
one.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High shirt on. So come on. You know?
So
That's so funny.
well,
the greatest
there
movie
you
of
go.
all time, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Period. There is no other. I don't care. The Star Wars is not even
I'm
close.
not even. Well, anyway, I have my own opinions on that. That could be a whole episode in and of itself, but we'll let that go. And oh, by the way, the weather here in New Jersey is rainy. So if California, you were looking for your rain, it's here.
Well,
So
it's coming back this weekend, apparently.
Yes, and this is festival season around here, so the desert is usually dry, and it will be dry intermittently, as it will be wet intermittently too.
It's Festivus?
Festivus.
Festival season. Coachella is 2 weeks away.
Are you serious? I thought that was always in the summer.
No.
Huh.
It is definitely a prominent.
It's always in April. Stagecoach.
Yeah,
And
Stagecoach is
Coachella,
really popular
both in
this
April.
year. Yeah.
Do you folks go?
Otherwise known as the time everyone rents their house to pay their year's mortgage in 1 month.
It's a beautiful thing. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Yes. Well,
Yep.
I will be working it, of course. So,
Oh,
yes.
You're working it? Well, I guess you would be.
AEG presents the people that put on Coachella and Stagecoach. So I will be.
All right.
But
Can you
since
get me in?
I am
Can you
a
get me in?
director,
Eh.
I mean, can you get me in?
Can you get me a pass?
this is something we should talk about. But probably earlier than the week before. Anyway.
Yeah.
Exciting.
And not live on a recording.
Yeah, not
I'm
live on a
saying.
recording.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
No,
okay. Yes, let me be
making
clear. Let me be clear. It is very serious. I take my job very seriously. The production, I don't just willy-nilly let just anybody come through. Of course not. Of course not. How dare you?
You know what? I can carry sandbags.
Not much of a
There you
need
go.
for it, but
We'll
if we
work
get
for-
it, I'll call you.
We'll work for
I mean,
tickets.
By the way, the club that it's the Polo Club, the Empire Polo. It's a freaking
Empire Polo.
amazing venue. It's an amazing venue. If you have not been there,
Well,
it's basically a field where they throw 90,000 people in the middle of a horse field and say enjoy.
for that
So Woodstock.
particular venue. Okay,
Mhm.
the place, well, since we're going to talk about it, the place where Coachella happens is at a location called Empire Polo Club. So they actually have
Mhm.
horses. That's one of the things they do there. They also do Major League Soccer tournaments there in February, I think. And many other exciting things happen at that location, including
Hmm.
a lot of sprinklers because it's the desert.
Well, I was gonna
Mhm.
say you're talking about the middle of a big field in the middle of like nowhere. That sounds like Woodstock to me here in
No,
New York.
there is
Is it?
like, by the way, because it's a field, there's like the sprinklers come on in the middle of the concert. They try to
I've
shut them off, but they don't always. But that's a premium. I mean, you're in Palm Springs, okay? Well,
outside of
in
Palm Springs,
Indio.
yes.
I mean Indio,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And so that's a big deal
Which is a big deal that there's water there.
that there's water, that there's
Yeah, because
sprinklers.
there isn't supposed to be, but they bring it in special for the
Yeah.
grass.
I have a
Yeah.
feeling this is not the content the listeners came for.
No,
But you
probably
know
not.
what? We are enjoying
Same.
it. You know what? I'm going to Palm Springs in 2 days. I'll be there on Thursday at our I'm going to spend a few days. We're going to spend a few days at our Palm Springs house. So I'll be
Nice.
there. Now I'm thinking about it.
Nice.
Wow.
Very cool. Yeah, I will be
Yeah.
here doing opening day ceremonies for my son's baseball leagues. So, and leagues plural. So, that's what happens when you add travel baseball into the mix along with rec. So, this is all baseball all weekend. So,
Yep.
and yeah, I'm very proud of my Yankees who are doing very well to start the season. But we
Isn't
don't
it
need to
like
get
4 games in?
five, and then I think they're playing tonight. Yeah, but it's a good start. It's their
Out
best
of
start
like
since like
12,000
'93.
games, we're 5 in.
Yeah, I know. It's their best
1,000
start since
games.
1993. It's been like 30 years since they've done this well. So, it's a big
Yeah.
deal.
Hey, as a Royals fan, we celebrate all the wins we can get, even if it's 5.
There you go.
So you want to know a fun fact about the Royals?
Sure.
I became a Kansas City. You actually don't, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I became a Kansas City Royals fan early on in life because I went to Dairy Queen during one of their like special where they gave you the ice cream in the baseball hat. You all remember that, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I
Still
got a
do it.
Kansas City Royals cap one time, and so I
Oh.
kept it, and I became a Kansas City Royals fan all because of Dairy
Oh.
Queen Sunday.
Aw.
Well, that's great. That's awesome. That's a great
You know
memory.
what? I mean, if it's not for their skill, it might as well be the Dairy Queen ice cream.
Ice cream just makes everything better. So there you go.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Even the hat. I
Do we have
remember
a
that.
Even
theme?
that. Well, now everyone does that. Like, you got your helmet from your baseball games, you got your helmet from hockey games. My son has 3 Devils ones now because they just like if it's a cup of pretzels or if it's an ice cream, they give you the helmet. So that's what happens when you go to a lot of hockey games. You come back with a lot of junk, essentially.
Inside your trunk.
Junk.
She's got jump to the trunk. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
No one
boy.
needs to hear me do that. No one
Boy.
needs to hear me do that.
Yeah, I hope you edit.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's
You
There's
can't
usually
edit
only
my
a-
awkward silence though before I.
no, that stays.
That was
'cause
dramatic pause.
That was
That was
that's
a pause.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, it sounds like we're all doing pretty well to start this
Yeah.
week. Welcome to full on April. Now we've moved in beyond the fooling of April Fools, and we are now into
Now
we're
into the
thick of
AV
it.
life with Joe Way, which might still be a recurrence.
We'll see.
Is it my
Yeah,
show
we'll see.
now? I'm trying to get rid of
No.
my shows.
The extension of April Fool's Day.
Uh-huh.
He could take over whenever he wants without
Of
it being
course.
April Fools. So
Well,
it's
Just saying.
I mean,
um,
people wait for me to take over. They
oh yeah,
listen to me,
they're
so
just
I-
wondering whenever it's
And
not
you-
a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
When.
You know,
Truth.
so
Experience.
it could be 30 minutes from now, it could be 5 minutes from now, but um, but so yeah, I will say there's a little bit of sad news. I'm just gonna go into the news right now. There's a little sad
Yeah.
news
Sad
in
news.
our AV world. Yes. I can't say it's breaking news, but it's because it was reported by the AV network. Yamaha UC is going to be closing its doors by June. So formerly known as Revo Labs, they are closing their doors. They are citing market changes as a cause for the liquidation. Yamaha Corporation has decided to dissolve Yamaha Unified Communications, a US-based subsidiary known for selling conference system equipment. So the decision to liquidate is expected to result in an increase in consolidated net profit of approximately $2.5 billion.
Okay, so my question is, why in the first place did Yamaha buy Revo Labs? Was it that they were thinking they were going to get into another market, like expand their services?
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, what market is Yamaha not in? I mean, you from tractors and car, like motorcycles to music
engines.
to pianos to, so like it's not unthinkable, right? That they would get into something. Well, I mean, Yamaha. I mean, I'm a Yamaha guy. I mean, I grew up on Yamaha soundboards. I love them.
Yamaha right over here.
It's my thing. It's not unthinkable that they then wanted to go into the conference room UC. I think the issue comes that, and we love it, right? They put their stuff through the HETMA Approved program. They've been a huge sponsor and proponent of HETMA from day one. It was just really, I think the timing was the issue, right? You come out with a great ceiling mic. The Odessi is an amazing ceiling microphone. At the same time as 25,000 other companies came out with a ceiling microphone, right? And that's the, what the hell is that? Your gut, James? What was that?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Wow.
Speaking of a grand entrance,
know that you are now PG-13.
Well, okay. Yamaha bought the company that is now no longer going to be around.
Revo. Yeah, but that's different.
Right.
That's their sound bar and all. That's not their the UC.
No. What I'm saying is,
it ended up being a really crowded market. I think really
that was my point, right? Yeah. Everyone on earth got into that market, and you really already had two industry leaders with Shure and Sennheiser, right? Mm-hmm. And then everybody came into the market at that same time. And, whatever, take the whole Clear One thing out of it and all that. Yeah, sure, they were first to market, but no one buys Clear One. Okay. And nor should they. Wait, did I say that out loud? Okay, I did.
Well, if you were having this conversation 15 years ago, it might have been a different story, but not today.
I was going to say, Cisco bought Tandberg a while ago, and that worked out. Yamaha bought Revo, and that didn't work out.
Well,
not exactly the same area, but an idea.
Well, yeah, but how many companies were doing video conference endpoints at that point? There were, you had Cisco, you had and then you had Cisco, and then you had a bunch of second tier. It was everybody else playing for second place essentially.
But wasn't it PictureTel was bought by Poly?
Yeah, that was.
Because that was a big player, big time.
So
PictureTel was bought by Poly before Tandberg got bought.
Yep.
And that merger with Cisco and Tandberg, we were still fighting little port configuration problems with that, because documentation was not crossed over from Tandberg to Cisco, but there was.
I'm not saying it was perfectly executed. I'm saying it was profitable.
Wait, hold on. We have to do. Please welcome to the show.
Oh yeah,
James King. Please introduce yourself. Tell people who you are and what you do.
I don't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's down at Tropicana for the inaugural closing.
Oh no,
man that needs no introduction.
Yeah, that's going nuts. But I'm assuming we're all talking about the Yamaha UC.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I don't know if there was some mention or not, but I find very odd about that is I heard it on AV Nation, and that day when I got to work, I got an email from Yamaha UC going, "Hey, I am blah, 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 your new Yamaha UC rep,
Mm.
Well,
which we don't
No,
use Yamaha
no,
UC,
Push,
but
push
also
the
known as an
stock we're
AI.
stuck with.
Well, I'm just wondering if I have to send my Odessia tester mic back. That's
Don't
what I
ask them.
they
want.
probably don't even know you have it, Joe.
Yeah, we
don't
had a
ask
whole
them
Wait till they
how.
ask.
Yeah, you missed that whole conversation before we started recording, James, about product that's been given out that has never been reclaimed.
I literally
So,
just
Yeah.
sent the line array speakers back like 3 weeks ago.
Like a sucker.
Could have kept hung
You could-
those in the house in the
There you
backyard
go.
and really.
Yeah.
Hey, Yama
There
wants
you
to
go.
liquidate by the end of June. So as long as you can hold on to everything by till June, you'll
Yeah.
probably not never know.
Man,
Push,
But the
push
one
all
thing
the
that
product.
But
James, I listened to that too, but they talked about Tim Albright mentioned that
Yeah.
they both Yamahas still have booths at Infocom showing on the website as of now.
which, yeah,
I
I
mean,
thought that was interesting as well.
well, it, of course. I mean,
Well, they keep it.
it takes months and it takes time to do that. They
Yeah.
still have.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what they're saying.
we're still talking
Yeah.
about one of the
But-
largest companies in the world, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they
Yeah.
can't
Well-
show up and have things. It's
But
about
you think-
consolidating where you're going to focus your energy, right?
Yeah, and
maybe that's going to be
I-
like a garage sale. They're going to bring everything, and everything's going to be for sale on the show floor.
Well,
There
and
you
that's it says the conferencing system equipment
else,
in the
yeah.
United States will still be handled by Yamaha Corp. So it's the main parent company is going to handle it still. So it's not like it's the product is going away. It's just the division that specifically handles it. Or maybe the product lines will get cut down. You know, maybe some of the ancillary products will go away. So
So
Maybe it's like
basically,
when-
we're doing a whole episode speculating based on no
Yes.
knowledge.
yeah, why not?
always.
It's what
Yeah.
we do.
But I mean, any way you look at it is, it's going to be a smart business move, because any smart business, you're going to cut areas that you're not an expert at. And yes, Yamaha is a big company; they do great things, but maybe their UC platform, they're not the best in the market. Why spend R&D and resources to something you're not the best in?
Well, the other question brought up from experience in past life is components, the component
what I was gonna
availability. So
say.
maybe
Yep.
that's why they have to retire it, is because they just cannot access it and it's old technology.
Right. So when they say another part of the company, Yamaha is going to handle it, it's kind of like, okay, you can buy parts from this company, but we're not going to make them anymore. You just buy parts until everybody gives up and lets them die.
Well, until you no longer have those parts. So maybe what they'll
Yeah.
do is that, they'll honor their warranty, and so they have to have parts for the products that are out there. But as a manufacturer, I can tell you that that could be maybe one of the reasons why.
Mhm.
Not talking about an AI
Yeah.
product or anything.
Well, it's funny, like when in a comparison to that, the folks that made from Oppo that made the RS-232 controlled Blu-ray players and 4K players, they stopped production on new players. They stopped that product line, but they still support the lifetime guarantee on the ones that are out there already. So you still had your warranty support on them, but they weren't making any brand new products. So yeah, there had to have been parts out there somewhere, or someone needs to be knowledgeable enough to be able to repair them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, since we're speculating, let's continue speculating.
Let's speculate.
Yes.
Do we see potentially anybody else making this sort of move?
Oh,
Because
You can't do that when I already know gossip.
oh, yes,
No.
we can.
We gotta get Joe in trouble.
Joe's bringing out the fireball.
No, I'm bringing out the keg of Fireball.
The keg of fire. That's how
Getting
bad
real
this
on
is
the EV
getting.
life.
No, in
I
that.
literally, you threw it out there, and you know I know gossip about
Well,
another one.
in this market, let's just
Well, then we'll hear
specifically
what you
stay
have to
with
say.
the UC market here. Um, and James kind of knows what we, because you were part of that conversation too, James. But we're not gonna talk about that. There are so many players within this now growing UC market. Is this the start of a potential trend? And now we don't have to name certain names, but I'm just throwing that out there. Like, is the market too crowded? Are folks seeing that the product that they make is not selling well enough to compete with some of the other ones, or do we just keep with the flooded market as it is? So I'm leaving it open to interpretation from anybody.
From an
And
observer, because I'm an observer, is
oh
it
yeah, let me put it this way. Anything stated on this podcast is pure speculation. There's no insider information. We are all just making our best educated guesses. Go ahead, Nancy.
I think it's over flooded. I really do. And that's the start of back in 2016 when Harman introduced the Vibe, which was a JBL soundbar, but it was put under AMX's name because obviously AMX dealt with control systems and things like that. And I went up against, and here in the Bay Area, Nariva. Nariva had huge, big, blank soundbar, video bar, and yet the VCs were willing to go with that, which was more expensive than with JBL AMX Vibe and stuff. But I saw it soon thereafter. There was just way too many manufacturers with the same solution trying to get into the same market.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree while actually disagreeing. I agree that yes, it's crowded, but I think the idea, like take Nariva, right? They have a very unique solution, right? That I think is so they also position themselves different in the market, but I think it's a crowded market. So I agree with that.
Yeah.
But they also are very unique and they go for the high end. I mean, you get what you pay for with a company like that, right? It is fantastic. The quality is there. The bar, right? They just go for a different, and it's a different setup, it's a different form factor, right? It's a different way of solving
Yeah.
the problem, which we all have to have. But I think, and kind of going full circle, if you think about like how many different control systems there aren't very many, but there are a billion at the same time, right? It's one of those like but there are certain things, sorry, but display manufacturers, there aren't many, but there are a billion, right?
Right.
And it's kind of that, are you going to go with a name you trust? And even with the trust names, there's too many. But on the flip side, that's a good thing, right? We don't want too much market consolidation. We want to be able to have, because innovation needs lack of consolidation. We need people pushing the limits. We need companies be able to compete against one another to get the innovation that we all want.
Yeah.
The issue is now show up at ISC Infocom and go back to the back end and where you have LED land of, everyone from Shenzhen, right? And it's whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then, but by the way, I could be a billionaire with how many business cards get thrown in my hand asking if I want to be the exclusive distributor for North America from half of those companies, right? I mean,
Well, I
and
had
so,
one of
and we
those.
all know they're all OEMs made out of the same 3 factories, right?
Well,
We all
that's
know
funny.
that.
I actually had one of those 3 factories at Rutgers the other day, and they were showing off their LED walls to us, and they're still under non-compete to where they can't go to Infocom and stuff like that because they're trying to sell direct now. So
Oh
that's
boy.
yeah. So yeah, like you have those back end folks that are still, you're all coming from the same spot anyhow.
I mean,
So
but then you look at but also then take companies like Absen, right? I mean, 5, 6, 10 years ago, they were having a hard time breaking in. They were the Chinese, company that then found someone in North America to underwrite them and get a name. But now they own the House of Worship world, right? Like they do.
Well,
And
I think COVID helped them. And my manufacturing rep, he repped them. And we'd been in meetings for my previous employer and he was trying to push it. And I honestly think COVID is what helped them step and be a part and now have all these projects and things like that is because, if you went into an integrator, they're comfortable with NEC, Sharp, whomever, and that's who they're going to use. Well, all of a sudden they can't get those parts. So you've got all the smaller companies or smaller players who are now getting a chance. And so I think that's where it changed for all of us, even post-COVID, because now it's like, oh, well, you know what? I can get that cheaper, but it's a better quality or, of the same.
Mhm.
So I think that's what's changed for our industry.
Yeah. And I think
Right.
we had talked about this on an older episode, and that the companies that were successful coming out of COVID were the ones that had stock, but then they were able to meet the expectations of the customers. That was a key pivotal moment at that time to be like, okay, here's the product. It works. It's awesome. And the companies that focused and were able to deliver were successful, like Epson. And then there were other ones that kind of dropped the ball and didn't fulfill the needs of certain customers. I have my own story, and I won't say that.
Yeah.
And I will not go with their product now because they had an opportunity. They completely muffed it. And so you lost a potential customer over it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
Go.
mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I have a hard time blaming companies over COVID. Yeah, should some of them done better? Absolutely. I mean, but the fact is, the world went through something that we've never freaking seen before, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
right.
you just like, I hate throwing companies under, like, no one could have prepared for it. Our industry has always been about, give it to me now. I'm going to place an order on Friday, and I hope you can give me 100 rooms worth of it by Monday, which was never a good business model, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And, so I have a hard, now,
Right. Now
yes,
I
there's a better navigation by a number of companies, right? But
right.
I don't know. I just,
But my thing was not about supply. It wasn't related to supply chain. Like, they had the product. It was the support after the fact. Like, I don't want to get I don't want to get into details and things like that. So like it was that after sales support where I had to use the products because I had it in stock. Like, it was already delivered to me, but then the support regarding it afterwards was a complete drop and fail on that company. So yes, I cannot blame, like, everybody went through something. Biamp had their shortage for the Dante chips. They basically reinvented their hardware to make it produced here in the United States. You had the same thing with anything that had Dante. All the car manufacturers went through the same thing. So it's like those sort of things, fine. Things got stuck on ships. We can't do anything about that. But that after sales support and that continuing support there's no supply chain on that. You can't have delays on customer support. That's just good business.
Right.
So
Well, I think going back to the original question, which was, are other companies going
yeah,
to follow
sorry.
suit? And Joe touched on it
Thank
too,
you,
but I
Renee, for
think
bringing us back.
no, but you think of all. I mean, you talked about LED. What about interactive displays, projectors? We already saw a lot of companies get out of that projector world, right? With several leaving over the last 5 years or so. I think it's going to be something we continue to see. I think. I mean, I even know there's some audio products that Sony is moving out of my division to another division because we were late to the game in the pro AV space. It was saturated. So put it over here, maybe in the cinema space or whatever. But I think we are going to see more of that. And I don't have any insider information and I don't know the gossip, but I truly just believe that is coming again. Several different spaces are so oversaturated. But again, like Joe said, not that Joe's right, but
oh no,
competition
Joe is
is good.
Like, this is the week of Joe being right.
Uh-oh, here comes Joe.
Uh-oh.
No, I agree with Renee. Back to the original question is, yes, the market is saturated, but I forget who said this. I heard this somewhere is
It was
we
probably
are
me
in
if it's right.
or if it's wrong, it's silly, probably you. But we are in an industry of copycat each other. Even us in higher ed, we fully admit we go to each other's schools and be like, "Hey, that's neat. We're stealing that." Or borrowing, as the AV Super Friends would say. We steal, we borrow, we use, and then we enhance. So why do we get shocked when manufacturers do the same thing? Like we are a copycat industry, and yes, you're going to have some manufacturers who come out cutting edge. You're going to have some manufacturers who will put enhancements or their tweaks on it to make their product stand out better. But a lot of the time, like Infocom last year, how many freaking boofs had a video bar system? I mean,
How
you
many
could throw a rock.
boobs?
Boofs.
That's not what I heard. That's not what I heard either, Joe.
I know. I probably came out wrong. But I mean,
That
everybody,
was a great Freudian slip if you're gonna have one.
everybody and their sister had a video bar, but each one
Yeah.
had something unique about them. So yes, the market is saturated, but the saturation is going to weed out the weak and bring the competitors and the top dogs to the top.
Yeah.
Now
That's
everyone's
it.
thinking about what I said.
Yeah, it's
No, you
processing.
said
What I
booty
said.
bar. That's what you said. We all,
I know.
we all stopped listening at booby.
Wait, you were listening before that?
At
Normally
boob.
when I talk,
Yeah.
people just stop listening.
No, it's always been. When I came in the industry in 2016, I was laughing, and I can't remember what at Infocom Vegas all of the whisker words were, or that everybody would repeat. But it's like this cyclical thing in our industry. Everybody gets on the bandwagon, and that's all they talk
Yeah.
about. And then it's like squirrel, and then there's another new technology
Squirrel.
word or what have you. And so I agree with you, James. It's play catch up and do what the other one's doing instead of coming out with an innovative design. And that's what I meant to say with Joe, is that's what's so different with ISC. ISC, with all the companies that don't enter into the North American market or haven't, is that they have these unique products. They've got cool products. And I just find that, what is it? Biamp bought Parlay, and then they bought, was it Evo? Is that the name? But to me, it seems like as if they're bringing in more European, Scandinavian companies into their portfolio to offer things that we don't necessarily see here. I mean, I actually prefer ISC over Infocom.
I know many people that say that.
Yeah.
I've never been, so I can't say.
Yeah, I can't compare. Well, maybe next year
You know
I
what?
could
They
compare.
are they are both wonderful conferences. HETMA loves them both. We love their support
Yeah.
and continued support for years to come.
And to put it also out there, Nareva is a platinum sponsor of Higher Ed EV
Yes,
and
they
HETMA.
are. You know what? We have great sponsors, and Sony is a great sponsor.
Yep.
Bose is a great
Yep.
sponsor since day one. AEG, once I get into Stagecoach, will be will get. I mean, I can stand there in front of house too. If they need help, I can move a fader like nobody else. Just put me on the mute button. I'm good. Reverb.
Well, it's just we're speaking about Higher Ed AV. The nominations are open for Higher Ed AV Awards, by the way.
The Higher Ed AV Awards are open.
Yes.
Yes.
Not
get
that
your things. Tickets are already rolling in.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are rolling in, and we also have nominees rolling in. So get it the whole month of April plus 3 days of May.
I am very excited to go to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in
I know.
Vegas.
Is that not rad? That's where we got.
That is
it
an
is super
awesome.
cool.
That is an
I'm going to be
awesome
able to
spot.
say that we are going to be able to say that we are on stage. We headlined Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club.
We can say that.
Oh
Yes, we
my
can.
God. We will be able to say that we headlined Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club.
Yep.
I mean, leave out the fact that we bought out the place.
Doesn't matter.
You know, we'll leave the details out. We will just lead with
They
we headlined Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club.
they put our names first on the board. That's what matters. That's
Higher Ed AV Awards. Oh, yeah, no, it's got to be our name. Tim Van Wart and Joe Way present the Higher Ed AV Awards.
there you go.
I will
Oh,
even give
man.
you front name.
Well,
I will let you have it.
V before W. So yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it was my
Ooh.
credit card that bought the thing.
Oh well, all right. Well, money talks. So yeah, I would be okay with second billing. I'm okay with that. I do better in supporting roles anyhow. So
Tim Van Wart and Joe Way present the Higher Ed AV Awards on the marquee.
there you go. Oh my God, I think I'd lose. I think I'd lose it. As a theater kid, that's what you dream of, is having your name on the marquee. Like
That's
the
great.
thing.
Yeah.
And what's Ryan and Aaron gonna say about that?
What are they going
I
to
mean-
do? Kick me off from the
Yeah.
board? I mean, what are they not making?
And actually, I'm not. I'm technically I'm not on the board. I'm
you're,
just a chair.
yeah. I
You're
mean,
just the flashy guy up on stage. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
we're the ones that wear the shiny suits. Says
did you order your suit, by the way, yet? I didn't order
no,
mine.
I didn't order mine yet. No.
Oh, yeah, we might need to do that.
Yeah, probably another week or so. I'll get to that. Let me get through the road show on April the 10th, and then I'll end my CTS on the 24th, and then we'll talk then.
I need another drink. How long are you going? Can I get another drink? Or are you ending?
Yeah,
this
you
thing?
could probably do that. Yeah, we got time.
Yeah,
What
like
other
10 minutes.
topics do we have? What other companies are we gonna? I can't say the one I know.
I know I want to talk about that one
Don't
too.
make me do it.
No,
No,
Go
no,
get
no,
another
no,
drink. Maybe
no.
we'll hear it by the end of the time we done
I
recording.
may
stop
tell
the-
you off
We'll
air.
stop the recording and then we'll talk about that.
I forget about editing.
I feel so important
Mm-hmm.
right
You
after
are
I
You're
start
in
my
the
show.
know.
Um,
In the know with Joe Way.
yeah, Joe
Mhm.
always
All right, I'll
Joe
be back.
knows.
Joe
The
knows.
fireball's not doing great. I need something more smoother.
Huh.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my
I'll be back.
gosh.
I don't even know what I've got down here. I'd have to like leave to go get something else, like from upstairs. Anyway, oh wow, and his camera followed him, and now it's just kind of stuck over there in the court. Is that? Oh yeah, James, that thing.
Okay. That's why it's up. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Anyway, well, yeah, for those for those who are on the Higher Ed AV Slack channel, you'll know what we're referring to without actually saying it. But yeah, this is, I know we talked about it in the last episode, which yeah, anyway, so yeah, we're all excited for Infocom. I really want to get to ISC though. Like that would be fun to go over.
You should. It's a great experience. It really is.
Well, I think I mentioned this in past, conversations. I was given the opportunity to go. I just didn't have my passport. So that was
Oh.
the problem.
And next year you have to have the ETS. You have to fill that out.
Oh,
20
right. I got it. Yeah. And pay, you got to pay, don't you have to like pay like $25 too or something like that? Yeah. Got to fill out the
Similar
form.
to like
pay
when
the
you go
fee.
to Australia, you have to fill out like a visa thing, and it's like same like what you just said, $25 or so.
So
but
yeah,
the-
that processing fee.
Yeah. But the ETS, I believe it's good for 2 years.
Oh, all right. Well, I feel
What
like
is
if I
that?
get
ETS. I never heard of that.
It's within Europe, and there's certain countries like Canada has to fill one out now, but there's certain countries, European, where they don't, and it's like an agreement between the countries that you can easily be able to travel between them. Whereas
Oh.
with the other ones, you have to fill this out so that you show it as proof that you can.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not hear that. I went to Paris a couple of years ago. I don't remember filling anything out or doing anything
Well,
special. but
no,
maybe-
was supposed to take place in 2023, and then
Oh,
they extended it, and now it's been pushed to 2025 of January.
It's like the
oh,
whole
of
real
course, right
ID,
before.
Yeah,
Oh,
the real idea that
the whole real
keeps
ID
getting
thing that they
pushed.
keep. Yeah. Oh, you need it by May. Oh, you need it by October. Oh, you need it by
yeah,
next May. It's like,
yeah. I remember going
like
to airports to check in, and they're like, if I was at somewhere other than Kansas City, they'd always say, "You only have a few months to get your real ID," and that was years ago. And I think it did.
Yeah.
It was like Missouri was one of the last of the last. I'm like, well, I'm still traveling, so I guess I'm okay. But I do expire
Just
this
not
year
there
on my
yet.
birthday, so I guess I have to go get a new one here.
yeah,
That's
by
funny you
next
mentioned-
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, by next year, May 7th, 2025. It sounds like I was just looking because I had my appointment at one point and then I canceled it because something came up. And so
It made me
uh
suspicious, so I decided, no, I'm just gonna keep my regular driver's license. And hi, Joe.
Joe's back.
Hi.
Uh-oh.
I just figured I would keep my
Uh-oh.
passport and the regular driver's license as an ID because I'm like, I don't know. I don't like that they're trying to force me into some new government thing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Hey, Nancy, is that a real background or a virtual background?
This is real.
It's not your normal background. Is it?
It's
Well, I'll sit and I'll have the dining room cabinet behind me
That's it.
for to move
That's it. Yeah.
different places, but I decided you get to see the kitchen.
mine is real.
The overlooking downtown
Yeah,
KC.
yeah, yeah. Or you get my plant.
Yeah, you don't want to see what's really behind me right now. My basement is a wreck. So, but it's all right. My wife's PTO presidency is up in June, so I can get rid of a bunch of this stuff, which is what most of it
Nice.
is behind me. So,
So see, you have basements, and then here in California, it's called garages where they store everything.
oh, I got a ton of stuff in there too. So, oh, that actually, yeah, I get rid of a bunch of that stuff next month in May. So yeah, that'll yeah, little by little, getting rid of all the stuff.
Yes, me too.
Some good spring cleaning, So,
And that's the theme, spring cleaning. We're
so there you
cleaning
go. I
out
can't.
Yamaha. We're cleaning
It,
out. Oh, no.
Oh, oopsie.
No, actually, I love it. See, it's sad. I so love Yamaha. Like, I'm such a Yamaha, like homeboy, fanboy.
Well, you
I mean,
still
Couldn't tell that, Joe.
I got my
Yeah.
Dante 1 certification at the Yamaha headquarters here in Brea. Like, I go by, like, this is home,
Mhm.
So sad. I mean, I know that part of it's not going away, but still, it's still sad. I love the company.
Yeah.
I was to say I did enjoy the UC presentations from them with the guy that had the garage full of Yamaha stuff and like I'd seen it a couple times, but I absolutely enjoyed that. Like the product worked well and seeing all the Yamaha stuff in his garage was awesome too. Like so that was cool. So I'm gonna miss that.
So did they announce the amount of people that might be losing their employment?
Not according to this. AV Network had reached
Or,
out to them for a comment and there had been none given yet.
oh, gotcha. Well, maybe they'll replace them in other spots in the country. Wishful thinking.
No, I mean, you don't want people to lose their roles. I mean, their jobs. I mean,
Ever.
Yamaha
No.
is a big company. Hopefully there's a good role or I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest, everybody who worked there are fantastic and like I mean still work there. But I'm saying is they're gonna be picked up in a minute. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Like let's just be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
If that does
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what happens a lot is the consolidation and the splitting off and the restructuring and all that.
You know what? I miss Corey Moss.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't know. We were talking about things that are like going away. I was like, all of a sudden, I just thought of Corey Moss out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, we all really miss him. And I think we actually owe him a follow-up, see what it's been a bit since we've heard from him. So
Yeah.
hopefully he's doing well. So
You know, we had a conversation about, well, James was there. He could be a good Hall of Famer
Oh yeah.
because
yeah,
if
that
it weren't for him giving Tim and me a shot, a lot of things would have never happened.
that's very
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh.
one, Joe. Yeah, I didn't think
Right?
of that one. Yeah.
Hmm. How much came out of it, and he didn't, because he was always a big support. You know, without knowing that his giving voices to people who probably didn't deserve it created so much ripple down the road.
I
Yeah.
still have voicemail on my phone from Corey that I have not deleted. It's from
Ooh.
from August 1st, 2019, right before everything went down for him.
Thanks.
So
Hmm.
I was in the
Wow,
middle.
I
I was
remember
in the
that.
middle of doing a product evaluation for actually no, it wasn't Barco. It was oh, I just got something from them for a press release too. Anyway, I was doing it and BenQ, that's what it was for BenQ. And he was like checking in on me, see how it was going, and I didn't pick up the phone at the time, so he left me a voicemail. And it was a couple weeks after that that he had the stroke, and then everything from there. So, yeah, so I was just kind of hung on to that.
Well, if he's listening, we're all thinking about you, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we absolutely are.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get a lot of memories throughout the year on like
Mm-hmm.
Facebook where he had tagged us, and it makes me miss Kim as well too, and Spence and
Yeah,
the other folks who have gotten busy with other things. But yeah,
yeah.
we
Oh,
need to try to get the gang all back.
that reminds me, and this has nothing really to do with anything, but James, I think Spence wants to have a word with the two of us too, and actually, I guess potentially you too, Joe. So, but I don't want to say what exactly, so because it's not common, but he wanted to talk to us. So,
Meat?
just I think a conference call or something like this. This is going back a couple weeks ago.
We get meat?
Oh, meat. Oh, well, meat,
Meat.
bro. Oh, that meat.
Of
Well,
course they're meat.
of course, if it's Spence, it's meat. Yeah, so.
Gotta be meat.
Gotta be meat.
Always
And
meet.
in that conversation also, he did say he wanted to come back and say hi. We just need to work out he's been busy, and I know Kim's been really busy too. She's been bouncing here, there, and everywhere, and so
I wonder how
well,
many listeners are still left while we're bouncing around talking about making plans and calls.
Wait,
that's
there's
true.
listeners?
This is the
Speaking of
content, yeah.
people being speaking of
But
people
anyway,
being
the
left,
quality
I
content
have to
about
go.
future episodes. So yeah, you know what, Murphy, stick around for a quick second. I'm gonna close this episode out because we're just completely getting derailed here. So if you're still listening at this point, thanks for listening, folks. Have a
And
great
I'm
day.
sorry.
It's my own fault. I got us derailed too. So
How about this? Tell you what, I'm going to throw something out there.
okay.
Why
The
end when we
first
can keep
person
going?
who messages me, who is not on this call, sorry, you're not qualified, will let you know I will give any manufacturer who's listening right now a free Hire a Day V Awards product entry. The first person who messages me that they heard it right here for the Hire a Day V Awards.
Okay.
We'll know who's listened this far.
Yeah.
First
well, yeah.
person to message me, you get a free entry. There you go.
So there you have it. So without any other further ado, as I always say, until our next adventure.